I think I hit the click. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to session number 3, our last session of group counseling here. We've been talking about stress management, and we touched just a little bit on resiliency last time. Okay, but this time we're gonna start. We forgot last time, we ran out of time, with our check-in, check-out procedure or circle time, and we have Laura, a new member here, so that'll help to just get us a little more comfortable. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We'll start to my right here. Go ahead, check in. Remember a number from 1 through 10, 1 being the least horrible day, 10 being the best day. Go ahead.
My name is Vanessa, and I'm feeling 9.
9.
Mi nombre es Laura y me siento 10.
My name is Sebastian Villa, and I'm feeling a 8.
My name is Ashley, and I'm feeling at a 9.
At a 9, very good. And I'm Mrs. Villa. Mrs. V, or Z, however you want to call me, and I'm feeling about an 8. I have a lot going on this weekend, a lot to get done, and a lot going on as well, but thank you for checking in. All right, and then next, last time in our last session, I gave you a little homework assignment. I said think of 3 items, and it could be 3 physical items or written down that represent you as a person, and in particular, kind of your strengths. What are your go-tos? What is something that you feel this is what helps me get through? It could be getting through stress or just getting through life in general, okay? So, volunteer to start first. Okay, we have Vanessa, and then I'm going to start here. Go ahead, Vanessa. And we have a little background, or we can pick it up in the video there. We have some background music. Very calm, relaxing music. Another great way to de-stress. All right, Vanessa, what do you have for us?
The box in general, like shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have like deck of cards.
Okay. So you like shopping, right? And then deck of cards. What do you mean by the deck of cards? What do you
Like
mean?
shuffling.
Shuffling it to help you de-stress. Okay.
And then video games.
Very good. Any questions for Vanessa? Does anyone relate to those items? Does anyone play video games or use cards or shopping? Yeah, a lot of my friends shopping, but for me, shopping actually can be stressful. I don't like being in stores for too long. I go for something in particular. But sometimes it depends. All right, somebody else? Ashley, go ahead.
3 things that represent me and they help me relieve stress is my family. So, like, I talk to them and I can say, like, personal problems and they'll help me, and my achievements. Like,
okay, so medal, she's at school academic achievements. Very good. It's a very nice medal. Okay, and
food.
And food helps her to de-stress. Very good. Thank you, Ashley. All right, Sebastian.
One thing that helps me is reading, because it just like calms me down and like just helps. And then another thing is my family, because they just help me with everyday things.
Okay, very good.
And lastly, my teacher, because she just helps me with things that I would eventually use in everyday life.
Very good. Good teacher there, good experiences. Laura, would you like to share something? I know you didn't bring anything, but what would you like to share?
La comida y los animales cuando los acarician.
Okay. Oh, animals. Yeah. You know, we had Mia here. Where are you, Mia?
Mia.
We had her doggy. She's a very good de-stress. Like, she'll come to you, you can pet her, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it works for both. They like to de-stress that way. They get it better. Maybe for us too. A lot of people go to animals, right, to de-stress. Very good. All right. We didn't go over our norms, so we'll go over them very quickly. Ashley, help me here, bring it over. But real quick, remember our norms are just our expectations during the session. So number 1, be respectful.
Be respectful.
Number 2, stay focused.
Stay focused.
Number 3, be honest.
Be honest.
Number 4, all voices matter.
All voices matter.
And lastly, what happens in the session
What happens in the session
stays in the session.
stays in the
So
session.
remember, we follow these to be respectful with everyone and have a good session. Kind of helps us to keep confidential too, so that if something's said that is private, remember that that's what counselors are really there for, so that you can be able to speak in a comfortable and safe environment. And it's hard. You can't always open up to everybody. It takes time. But by this time, we've gotten to know each other a little bit better. I know Laura from before, so that helps too. Thank you guys for sharing. All right, and then just real quick recap, we talked about the areas that we feel the most stress. They can be home, school, and friends. We obviously mentioned resiliency and how this term has to do with overcoming challenges. So stressful situations can obviously lead to strength and building what we call resiliency in those situations. So people that are resilient are able to overcome them in a positive manner. Okay, they find things to do that. And then some areas or things that we talked about. For example, right now, presenting or speaking, failing a test. A lot of you spoke on that, right? Sorry. Feeling left out or alone, peer pressure. This is a big one, bold and red, right? Loss of a loved one, that definitely can cause some stress, even some stress that will stay with you for a long time. I have family members that have yet to overcome the loss of a loved one. I have an aunt that has struggles with the loss of her father, which is my grandfather, and that's something that just kind of haunts her. She has a hard time getting over that. So a lot of different things, divorce, poor sleep. We talked about all those things. So again, the term resiliency, everybody say this?
Resiliency.
Okay, refers to, let's do this, resiliency. Say it.
Resiliency.
And go like this. Show your muscles. Why? When we're resilient, we have strength. We have strength, and we kind of use our knowledge to not let things, although it's natural and normal for us to be stressed, but we find a way to translate into something positive. I've seen, for example, cancer victims. We had Alondra, right? Some of you might remember Alondra. Alondra was she is a leukemia survivor, thank God. And she actually used her story and her experience to now motivate and help other families that went through that. So even though that's a very difficult situation to overcome, she sees the benefits of it, and she saw how she could overcome something so serious like life and death, and her family kind of. I learned that even from just seeing them and seeing their experience. So resiliency. So everyone should have something like this, correct? And it's simply a little questionnaire interview. You're going to use it to work with your partners, and your partners are right next to you. So Vanessa and Ashley, raise your hands. Your partner A, say A.
A.
Okay, and the ones next to you are partner B.
B.
B. Okay, partner A will share with partner B, and then likewise. Okay, so make sure you take turns. You're gonna go through the questions. You already know them. You guys are high grade level. I don't think I need to. It's not a quiz either, so don't stress. Okay. But one of them, for example, the one I want you to really reflect on is the last one. Do you feel that you can overcome anything? Why or why not? And how? Okay, and we'll talk about. So the rest are kind of rating yourself. Do you get stressed easily? How much? How often? Okay, if you do, how often? And how do you deal with these things? Okay, so go ahead and turn to your partners. Remember to use 3 L's. I help me as a teacher to look, right? So we do, right? To listen attentively, and lean possibly, because our body language is a lot. It could be like this, and that can translate as they're not really paying attention to me. Okay? All right, so turn to your partner and go ahead and get started.
Do you get stressed
Do you get
easily?
stressed easily? Explain.
Good testing. But I'm really.
Do you stress
Yes.
easily?
Stress easily?
No.
Like
What's
yes,
stress
but
easily?
not. So like a medium.
Medium? Do you stress frequently? Explain.
Wait, no.
I can say weekly for
Have you
the test
encountered a
to,
challenging situation?
I don't know, turning in homework.
What was the most recent?
Do you stress frequently?
Sort of.
What strategy
But
did
at
you
the
use
same
slash
time,
what
though,
works for you?
because it's just that, like, we get our tests, like, almost every week. So,
Do you feel that you can overcome anything?
What
Why?
stresses
Or
you
why
the
not? And how?
testing stresses me the most. What stresses you the most?
Like turning in homework in time. Because it's like,
Yeah, late work.
it's a lot worse than my grade. Have you encountered a challenging situation?
Yes, CASP has been a challenging situation. But have you encountered a challenging situation?
Yes. When my grandpa got really sick, and, well, I got stressed. well, obviously your grandpa's sick. You're really stressed about it.
What was the most recent?
My grandpa. What strategy did you use and what worked for you?
Laying down and just relaxing. What strategy did you use? What works for you?
Listening to music and laying down.
Do you feel that you can overcome anything? Why not, and how?
Yes, like with a little bit of patience, but it depends.
Yes, but you would have to put your brain into it.
Your brain into it. So when you're done, show me thumbs up. So this script over here is done. Bonus question? You guys can ask a bonus question. Ask her something about her. What's your favorite color? Favorite food? Purple.
And blue.
Nice turquoise.
Sientes que fue
What's your favorite animal?
Dog.
A panda. There we go. Alright, awesome. Alright, if you can hear me clap once, you can hear me clap twice. Nice, very good, guys. Alright, so I overheard, not trying to be nosy, but trying to pick up on some similarities or what I heard. And school came up a lot. Interesting,
Yes.
okay? So I know, especially it's the end of the school year, you shouldn't be stressing on the school year. You should be
No,
excited.
that's when we get more tested.
Yeah, you're right. So CASP testing, right? The state test, so that can cause a lot of stress. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go around. This time we'll start with Laura. Laura, share something because you're an active listener about Vanessa that was interesting to you. Any question? You can pick any question.
Que lo que más eligió eran los exámenes y la escuela.
That's what stressed you the most. Okay, so test and school in general. Thank you.
Laura doesn't get stressed easily.
That's interesting, huh? Like, what's your secret, Laura? Right? Maybe you should give us a session. All right, thank you. Okay, over here, Ashley.
He said that the most stressing situations is when he's taking CASP testing.
Okay, so very interesting.
And she gets stressed sort of easily, but at the same time no, so she chose me to.
Alright, great. Well, I'm glad to hear that most of you sound like you manage stress pretty good, pretty effectively. Some of you maybe a little more than others get stressed, but you're finding ways to cope. And I don't want to like they say, like, cause you to stress, but stress can become a lot more serious as you get older because you have more serious problems. However, I caution even teachers, educators, adults when they say that, because I can say, well, you get more stress as you are an adult, but what about the child? I shared the scenario. What about the child that from a very young age has lost his parents and no longer has parents, has no family around, and becomes an orphan, homeless, is living hotel to hotel, maybe has a history of drug abuse, right? Maybe the child hasn't ate for months. Those can be very stressful situations that they're young and they're dealing with those kinds of things. So when we have people and support systems like the items that you guys share, a lot of you mentioned your family, that definitely helps us to overcome. And as we get older, our resilience, right, to those situations become a lot stronger. And that's why we said, right? You're able to, sometimes not automatically, but you're able to understand your body, which is a huge indicator of stress, right? How many of you feel in your body right away when you're stressed? And what are some signs?
My head hurts.
Okay, headaches. What else?
Mi patita me fue.
Stomach. You know what? Lately, I was in a huge amount of stress with our hearing, right? Imagine school, and the professor and some of the students know they denied our charter, and that was very stressful, right? So these emotions kind of got trapped in your stomach, and it tends to happen, yeah. So what else?
You start feeling sick.
Start feeling sick, just generally. What else?
Like shaking.
Shaky, right? Nervousness can translate to stress. I also caution you, careful. I hear a lot of people say, Okay, lastly, we're gonna finish with one other activity that involves music. A lot of you mentioned how music helps you de-stress, so I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna play it once, just a little part of the song. Just listen to it, and then I'm gonna play it again. And the second time, you're gonna just write down some words that come to your mind, some feelings or emotions that come to mind when you hear the song. You ready? It's titled Rise Up. Just listen to it first. Go ahead and write. Very good. Someone like to share? What came to mind as you heard this song? Sebastian?
Don't give up, and I'm strong.
Don't give up. Being strong. Very good. Someone else?
It's a song about overcoming.
Very nice. Overcoming something, but overcoming. Very good.
Like moving obstacles out of the way.
Awesome. Okay. And Laura?
Por lo que entiendo es que esta canción dice que una que va a crecer o seguir adelante, no importa la situación o lo que estás pasando. No importa si gente te dice, oh, tal cosa, tú puedes seguir adelante.
Very good. You can, right? Si se puede is a very popular phrase. Very good. And we talked about a phrase that's very, I think, uncommonly and very easily thrown out there and used. People say, oh, you'll move on. To be careful with that, right? Maybe saying you'll move forward, which is different, right? Because you can't really move on from a loss of a loved one, right? Or something that's very dear to your heart. So music can be your escape, and these lyrics, and there's many songs out there, you can even become, right, an artist and poet, can really express your feelings and can help you to establish a mindset that helps you overcome and helps you become resilient and helps you become this strong, powerful person, right? Thank you guys for sharing. All right, we're gonna wrap up with our circle time once again, but this time to finish, I want you to give me one word or just something that you're going to leave with. So during these 3 sessions, with the exception of Laura, what is something that you just, this word just comes to my mind, and this is gonna help me maybe later on to share with someone else, or just something that I'm gonna keep forever, okay? Sebastian, go ahead and get us started. Check in with your number and what's the word?
I'm checking in at 9. And my word is courage.
I'm checking out as a 9, and my word is overcoming.
Very good. To my word, that's okay. I'm checking out at a 10, and my word is strength. Strength. Okay, Melissa?
I'm checking out at a 9, and my word is
Mia, come here. Sorry.
relax.
Relax. Very good. Okay, and Laura, last one, please.
Pues,
Come here.
un 10 y
I'm sorry. Hold on. Anthony?
y palabra
Do you want to go out?
seguir
Seguir, continue. Okay, move on. Okay, all right. Can we think of a chant or a cheer that we want to finish up? Something we could say? Resilient. Resilient.
give up.
Okay.
You can do it.
You can do it. I like that one. I like the Nike slogan. I'm going to steal it from you, Nike, but okay. You can do it. So on 3,
You can do it.
I'm going to thank you for being here, and hopefully we can continue to have more sessions. You don't have to necessarily be video, but I hope you all learned from it, and I want to thank you for being here. Okay, so on 3, we're going to say you can do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You can do it. Very nice. Thank you, and good afternoon.